Date today is September 4th, 1783. I am Nathaniel Miller, and this is my colleague,
Dan Winthrop.
Tonight we're going to be reviewing the war, the American Revolution.
Big war indeed.
Oh yes. And we're going to be covering the major battles of Saratoga and Yorktown. Not only that, but the documents known as the Articles of Confederation and the Treaty of Paris. What else do we have tonight, Dan?
Interview!
Woo! Not only that, they're going to be interviewing some of our original American patriots. Not only that, British officers. Can you believe it?
Heated argument indeed.
Indeed. Our first topic tonight is the Battle of Saratoga, also known as the turning point of the American Revolution. The Americans had already suffered a hard-fought loss at Bunker Hill and are looking for a victory. The British, on the other hand, were looking to crush and divide American forces in ending the revolution. Their plan was General Burgoyne was going to attack from the north and General Howe was attacked from the south, henceforth dividing the forces. This plan did not fall into place, however, because General Howe decided to attack Philadelphia instead of at Saratoga. He does this because he believes Philadelphia is the center of the revolution. While in Philadelphia, he doesn't even defeat the forces completely, he just leaves them weakened and giving them time to rebuild. The reason why this is called the turning point of the war is because the French finally decided to directly aid the Americans by sending supplies, men, and ships to aid them in their battle against the British. And now with our next topic, the Battle of Yorktown with William Richardson. Thank you, Dan. Now, the Battle of Yorktown was the last major battle of the Revolutionary War. It effectively ended the war. The battle was from September 28, 1781 to October 19, 1781, between the Americans with General George Washington and the British with General Lord Cornwallis. The Americans also had their French allies led by Lieutenant General de Rochambeau. Now, the Americans had a very good advantage in this battle. They had rifles. The rifles were so much more accurate than the muskets that the British had. They were much more effective in battle. Now, General George Cornwallis moved up from the Carolinas because they were losing a stronghold. He hoped to gain a better stronghold in Yorktown. When the Americans heard of this, they left Williamsburg with the French to intercept them. Now, the French and the Americans began their siege on September 28th. As you can see here, the English were surrounded. The French on the west and the Americans down south. Now, the French also had their navy up north in the York River, so the English really had no chance to escape. With this, the British had no choice. They had to surrender. Cornwallis marched his troops out of Yorktown on October 19th and surrendered to the George Washington and the French. Back to you, Dan.
Thank you, William, for that wonderful report. And now, we have Jack Daniels with an exclusive interview with the British officers and colonists. Hello, I'm Jack Daniels, and today I'll be interviewing a colonist and a British officer. Today I'm going to ask you gentlemen some questions.
Okay.
1. What is your opinion of your commanders?
Well, I think Mr. Washington's doing a fantastic job. He's winning a good amount of battles. We've lost a couple in the first part of the war, but we pulled out strong at the end. I think if he can bring that leadership back to our country and help that with the government, I think we'll be good.
What about you?
Our commanders have left us out on the battlefield. During the winters, we're freezing our butts off while they go into their hotels with their cup of tea and all that crap. Honestly, they are showing no leadership for us.
Really? How does this affect your country?
Well, honestly, now that we've lost one of our most profitable nations, our colony, it's been difficult. Everything's going up in price, the economy's failing, and it's been overall a bunch of rubbish.
Well, I know I'm from Virginia, and I just came up here to see what's going on, see some family. It's been rough. I my plantation has suffered greatly. I've lost about 2/3 of my slaves, so help is needed greatly. So I think our economy's hurting real bad, but I think we can fix it.
How does this win or loss affect you both personally?
Well, like I said, my plantation has suffered greatly, but I lost a brother-in-law. My wife's been a little dramatic. Things have been rough in the household, but like I said, hopefully things will get better. Well, during the war, I've lost a couple brothers, and it's been very hard on me, along with the fact that I've been getting crap for pay by the British Army. It's awful. And, you know, honestly, I don't know where I'm going to start after once everything clears out and I go back to England.
Oh, that's terrible. Now that you are independent, what will you do?
Oh, well, I'm a farmer, and honestly, I don't know.
How he's a farmer.
Oh, shut up. Well, I think we'll leave things to Mr. Washington, Mr. Franklin, Mr. Jefferson. I think to those government-type peoples, I think they can figure out this country.
Yeah. Back to you, Dan.
I'm going to talk to you about the Articles of Confederation. Okay, this was basically a constitution for America that it basically tried to help out governing systems because they didn't like the monarchy of England. In 1777, it was drafted by the First Continental Congress. This was the same Congress that created the Declaration of Independence. The shortcomings of it was the central government could make laws, but it couldn't even enforce them. The states could choose to do it, to enforce them, but they didn't have to. They weren't allowed to raise tax levies or anything like that, so you're screwed if, you know, something happens. And it wasn't even involved in trade or foreign affairs. So that's basically an overview of the Articles of Confederation. And now for a short commercial break.
All right, Betsy, let's do this. Whoa, Betsy. Nice to have some holiday wassail conveniently at your local port. Get it today.
And now we're back with the Treaty of Paris, which was signed yesterday, September 3rd, 1783. Before this treaty was signed, the British emissaries met Americans in France. The Americans who were present there were Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and John Jay. That's it for tonight, and now back to Nathaniel and Dan.
This is our wrap-up of the review of the war. This has been CNT, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And follow us tomorrow night for our new topic.
George Washington, great military leader, or a tree killer?
Hello, this is CNT Colonial News tonight. Today's station.
Sorry. How does this win or loss affect your guys' countries?
I'll just keep rolling. I've lost 3 brothers to those colonists, most of them at point-blank range shots. It's been difficult for my family. You know, the wages that I get in the British Army are terrible, just terrible. And honestly, I don't know how what's going to be after this.
Well, how does this win or loss affect you guys personally?
That was the question before. What was the question before? I thought you...
And today I'm going to talk to you about the Articles of Confederation. Okay, so what this is it's a law... Okay, this was the same Congress that created the first Declaration of Independence.
In wrap-up to our review of the war, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Okay.